Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video I'm going to be giving you my predicted 11 for Manchester United's game against Real Betis at Old Trafford in the Europa League round of 16 first leg. So I am expecting Erik ten Hag to rotate. I'm going to go with the 4-2-3-1 formation. In goal, David De Gea. I'm expecting De Gea to keep his place in goal. De Gea was in goal in Manchester United's 7-0 thrashing by Liverpool. De Gea couldn't really do anything about any of the goals. De Gea's distribution was very poor. De Gea is Manchester United's #1 goalkeeper. De Gea has been a long-serving player at Man United. He's been at the club for around 12 years or so. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. He's made over 400 appearances in the Premier League for Man United, and he's made over 500 appearances in all competitions. And he's won everything domestically at the football club. De Gea is out of contract at the end of the season. There's an option of an additional year. He earns £375,000 a week. Revert back to earlier on this season, it said De Gea will accept lower terms to remain at Man United. He could possibly finish his career at the club. Right back, I'm going to go with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think he'll come in for Diego Dalot. Dalot obviously started at right back in the 7-0 humiliation by Liverpool. Dalot actually started the game well. He did put a good cross in for Bruno Fernandes. But as the game went on, he was poor. Like I've mentioned, Dalot has not been the same player since the World Cup. You know, he had a couple of injuries earlier on in the season. That's why Aaron Wan-Bissaka was playing a lot of games. There is United fans saying that Aaron Wan-Bissaka should have started against Liverpool. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka could leave the club in the summer. He's not our first choice right back. Diego Dalot is. Man United got Aaron Wan-Bissaka from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. Got him in a deal worth 50 million. The two centre-backs, I'm going to go with Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez. I think Harry Maguire will come in for Rafael Varane. Varane was playing alongside Martinez in the 7-0 humiliation by Liverpool. Varane looked very shaky. Harry Maguire, obviously, he's not one of Man United's first choice centre-halves. He hasn't been one of our first choice centre-halves since the arrival of Lisandro Martinez. Not so long ago, Maguire had a knee injury. The other week, it said Harry Maguire has been put up for sale. He will lose Man United 40 million if he leaves in the summer, as expected. You know, Man United did pay 80 million for Harry Maguire from Leicester. We definitely overpaid for him. When Maguire officially signed for the club, he signed a 6-year contract. Lisandro Martinez. I thought he started well in the game against Liverpool at Anfield. He did well in the first half, but was poor in the second half. He did receive a yellow card in that game. Victor Lindelof, he's an option if he's available. Lindelof played no part against Liverpool because he picked up a minor injury. Left back, I'm going to go with Terrell Malaysia. He will come in for Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, of course, started at left back in the 7-0 thrashing to Liverpool. Luke Shaw was very poor. He could have been sent off in the game. And I'd say he was at fault for like 2 or 3 of Liverpool's goals. It was Luke Shaw's worst game for a while because Luke Shaw's been very consistent in a lot of games this season. He is still Man United's first choice left back, despite us getting Malaysia last summer. Shaw's endured around 9.5 years at the club. Towards the end of last year, Man United extended Shaw's contract by 1 year. Luke Shaw is injury prone, which is a concern. He had a small injury not so long ago. He missed the cup win against West Ham. Luke Shaw's played as a centre-half in around 6 or 7 games this season, and to be fair, he's done very well, even though that's not his predominant position. But yeah, I think it will be Malaysia at left-back in this game. Manchester United got Malaysia from Feyenoord. The 2 centre midfielders, I'm going to go with Scott McTominay and Marcel Sabitzer. So yeah, I think McTominay will come in for Casemiro and Sabitzer will come in for Fred. Now, McTominay, of course, didn't start against Liverpool, but he did come on. Sabitzer didn't start against Liverpool, but he did come on. You know, it was Casemiro playing alongside Fred in the game against Liverpool. He said that Casemiro could miss this game against Real Betis because he picked up an injury against Liverpool. Plus, Casemiro, he's 1 booking away from a European suspension. Don't forget, Casemiro got a 3-match ban back in February. And, you know, Fred, he was very poor against Liverpool. But McTominay, he's not one of Man United's first choice centre midfielders, as you all know. He hasn't been first choice since the arrivals of Casemiro and Christian Eriksen. Man United are willing to listen to offers for McTominay in the summer. Marcel Sabitzer, I think he's done really well since he come to United. You know, Man United have got Sabitzer on loan until the end of the season. It did say initially there was no option or obligation to buy, but not so long ago it said Man United could sign Marcel Sabitzer on a permanent basis at the end of the season. That was according to his agent. Man United got Sabitzer from Bayern Munich. So yeah, so McTominay and Sabitzer, the 2 centre midfielders. In the number 10, I'm going to go with Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes was actually on that left-hand side in the 7-0 humiliation by Liverpool, and obviously Weghorst was in the number 10. Van der Beek, if he was available, would be an option, but, you know, he wouldn't start anyway, even if he was fit, because he's a squad player. You know, Van der Beek's out for the rest of the season. But Bruno Fernandes, of course, played against Liverpool, like I said. He did actually have a good headed chance in the first half, just went wide. By the way, it was disgraceful what Bruno Fernandes did against Liverpool. He nudged the assistant referee. I'm hearing that the FA have decided to take no action. Bruno Fernandes could have easily been sent off against Liverpool. Like I said yesterday, Man United told to sack Bruno Fernandes as captain. Man United stars are irritated by Bruno Fernandes. But, Fernandes, he looks a far superior player without Ronaldo in the team. Because revert back to when Ronaldo was at Man United, we couldn't get the best out of Bruno Fernandes. If the captaincy was to be taken off him, I'd actually give the captaincy to Martinez because he leads that back line well. On the left-hand side, I'm going to go with Marcus Rashford. Rashford, of course, played against Liverpool at Anfield. Like I said, he was up top, was Rashford. Rashford's very effective a lot of the time when he plays up top. He plays very well when he's out wide on the wing. Rashford actually had a good chance in that first half against Liverpool. Rashford's enjoyed a sensational season. He's scored 25 goals in all competitions this season. This is definitely his best season as a United player. On the right wing, I'm going to go with Garnacho. Jadon Sancho, I think, is an option. Sancho missed the game against Liverpool. He has been out with a fever. Anthony, of course, is an option. Anthony, of course, started on that right-hand side against Liverpool at Anfield. He was poor. He did actually have a chance in the first half, but it produced a comfortable save by Alisson. So I think it will be Garnacho on the right wing. Don't forget, Garnacho scored the decisive goal in the cup win over West Ham. He curled it straight past Areola. Don't forget, Garnacho scored the winner against Fulham at Craven Cottage last year. And Garnacho scored his first senior goal for the club in the 1-0 away win against Real Sociedad. It said the other week that Garnacho had agreed a 5-year contract. So he's going to be under contract with the club until 2028. And up top, I'm going to go with Weghorst. Obviously, Martial is still unavailable through injury. Martial's been hampered with injuries this season. Weghorst, of course, like I said, played in that number 10 against Liverpool at Anfield. He was anonymous. Weghorst has only scored one goal for the club so far. That came in the first leg against Nottingham Forest in the Carabao Cup semi-final. There's been games where Weghorst has had good chances, but unfortunately hasn't been able to convert them. Man United have got Weghorst on loan until the end of the season. To be honest with you, I thought it was a bad decision by the club getting Weghorst in on loan. So anyway, that's how I think Manchester United could line up against Real Betis. As you all know, Christian Eriksen is still out. But it shouldn't be long now until he's back. He has got an ankle injury. Manchester United progressed to the last 16 of the Europa League by obviously knocking Barcelona out in the round of 32. It was 4-3 on aggregate over the two legs. Man United won the second leg against Barcelona 2-1 at Old Trafford. The first leg was 2-2 at the Nou Camp. I think Man United have got a chance of winning the Europa League, but there is still some good teams in it. I am expecting us to beat Real Betis. Like I've mentioned, Real Betis are not a good team, but they're not a bad team either. Real Betis recently drew with Real Madrid 0-0. They are like 5th in La Liga. Don't forget Real Betis beat Manchester United in a friendly last year, 1-0. Manuel Pellegrini is the Real Betis manager. He's under contract with them till 2025. He's been the Real Betis manager for over 2 years. He got appointed in as the Real Betis manager in August 2020. Don't forget, Manuel Pellegrini's managed in the Premier League before. He managed Man City, he won the title with them. He managed West Ham. So they're the clubs he's managed in the Premier League. He's managed other clubs as well. He managed likes of Real Madrid, Villarreal, Malaga, River Plate, and there's other clubs he's managed. Like I've said, some of the players that Real Betis have got, they've obviously got Juan Cruz, he's out of injury at the moment. Wanmi, Rodri, Luis Henrique, Sergio Canales, he's injured at the moment. Perez, they have him on loan from Leicester. Willian Jose. They've got Nabil Fekir, who they got from Lyon. He's been out with injury. William Carvalho. So they are quite a few of the players that Real Betis have got. Manchester United have got to bounce back from that 7-0 humiliation by Liverpool. And I'm confident Man United will bounce back. We've had quite a few setbacks this season and we've recovered well. We had the 6-3 defeat to City. We had the 4-0 defeat to Brentford on the second game of the season. We had the 3-1 defeat to Aston Villa. And, we recovered really well from that. After the 7-0 thrashing by Liverpool, Erik ten Hag accused Man United of being unprofessional, and he mentioned that Man United lost their heads. We capitulated in the second half against Liverpool. Liverpool did score 6 second half goals. It was only 1-0 at half time, and I thought in that first half it was quite equal, and in the last 10-15 minutes of the first half, Man United, were on top. And not so long ago, Man United players reported early for training to obviously meet Erik ten Hag after the Liverpool humiliation. And, ten Hag has warned his players not for it to happen again, because if it does happen again, he said the players will be going in the under-21s. But Erik ten Hag is still the right manager for Man United. I will back him. You can see the progress he's made this season. Won us the Carabao Cup. That was his first trophy as United manager and Man United's first trophy in 6 years. Got us to the Europa League last 16. Got us to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And obviously got us up to third in the league. If ten Hag can get another trophy on the board and get us a top 4 finish, then I'll underline that and say that's a good first season as Man United manager. It was only the other week that was talking about Man United winning the quadruple, and I said I'm very sceptical that's going to happen. It won't happen because Man United are going to win the league this season. But anyway, on my next video, I'll be giving you an update on some transfer news. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless.